Hey there, YouTubers, a G-Man from Texas here. Hey, spring here in East Texas, and it's time to plant some goodies. Hey, I got some acreage and I do some planting and some farming. I got some friends in the city that always tell me, I wish I had some land so I could grow my own vegetables. Well, I'm here to tell you that you can do it in a small backyard with a raised garden, and I'm going to show you how to do it. Okay, so for this raised bed gardening, we're going to be using a rain barrel. You can find them in marketplaces, flea markets, used for about 10 bucks, maybe 15. It's nice if you can find one that has been used for food grade. And with the rain barrel, we're going to cut in half and make two garden beds using some 2x4. Okay, so we're going to find the center of the barrel and make a mark with the pencil. The barrel already brings a little line there, so it makes it a little easier. Once we do that to the top, we're going to flip it to the bottom and do the same thing. Find the center of the barrel, make a mark. Now I'm going to put a screw at each end on my center mark, and I'm going to be attaching a string to that to find the center of the whole barrel. Now find whatever way that is better for you to find a perfect circle. This is the way I do it. I make sure that all my measurements are even on each point, and that's where the string is going to be. We're going to mark, and that's where we're going to cut our barrel. Make sure that the tops of the barrel, the screw tops, are going to be in the bottom of your barrel when you finish the garden bed. So with the line, we're going to trace a pencil marking. And this particular barrel makes it easier because it's got a straight line of measurements. But if not, your measurements would have done it. You get your pencil and mark where you're going to cut. And remember, people, this is not from NASA. It's not rocket science. Now here's the baby I use, the saw saw. You can use whatever you have. This makes it easier for you. If you don't have one of these, a jigsaw, skill saw, something will do, but this is the man for the job. Now give it a good rinse, and this part of the project is done. Now let's go over to the shop and work on the frame. But before we continue, it's time for a little refreshment. It's hot out here, guys. Okay, as you can see here in my homemade plan, we got two long runs of 34 3/4. These are the sides. And then two short runs of 25 1/2. These go on the outside, these go on the inside. And that's going to form the frame to put our barrel in and secure the barrel to the sides of these. Now, it takes 24-inch legs, and this is all treated, outside treated lumber, 2x4s. And I did it all with 6 sticks of 2x4 by 8, and gives me a little bit left over. That will give me 2 barrels, 1 barrel cut in half, 2 planters. Now we secure it all around with screws. Make sure it's nice. Now I make like 6 holes for drainage, for the water to drain. Now don't do it all the way in the bottom or the soil will be way too dry. So I put them a couple of inches away from the center of the bottom so that the bottom of the soil always remains moist. There we go. And this is how mine came out. I used 3 barrels, which gave me 6 beds. And this is just like a little hobby type of plants that I'm doing here, and also to show you guys you can do this in a small space. Now I do some gardening. I do hundreds of plants of garlic and sell them in the farmers market. But then it takes a little more land. But let me tell you, for a small space with these barrels, you can do it. You can grow your own vegetables in your small space. If you really want to get fancy, you can grow your own compost. You can make your own compost with a regular trash can. Make some holes in it for air. Throw some kitchen scraps, grass clippings, just a whole bunch of videos on how to make good compost. And you can do it in a small scale with a trash can like this for your initial plantings. It's a lot of things you can do, guys. You can collect rainwater, which is great for the plants. And this 275-gallon tote gets filled with the house rain gutters. Then you can add on to the project by building trellises, like you see here, to grow things upright since you don't have a lot of room, like your cucumbers or your squash. They can grow up. These trellises that you can make. So many things you can do if you just use your imagination, and check out some YouTube videos that are out there. So there you have it, guys. I'm going to put in the description the measurements and the materials that I use for this garden bed. And I hope that this encourages you to grow your own vegetables as a hobby or something good to eat. Don't get discouraged if you don't have a lot of land or a lot of space. Get yourself a chicken or eggs if your association allows it. Anyway, I hope this encouraged you to do something good. And like I always say, guys, the G-Man from Texas saying, peace, y'all.